take too long, but I will give a brief history of the school. In the 1930s, the population in Croppa Creek was so small there was no school. There was a provisional school up at Baroma, which is over the other side of that bridge. And a few children that were here attended there. It wasn't till after the war, when share farmers came to this area to grow wheat, that the population grew and there was suddenly an influx of children. And then a move was made to do something about a school. Now on the plant, which I have here, which I'll unveil in a moment, I'm just going to speak about the people on the plant. The school was opened in 1949 by my wife's father, Roy Heferen, who was the Member of Parliament for this area, and he lived on the property about 2 kilometres up the road there. He lived there for 40 years. So when you actually had a Member of Parliament who was in this area. Not like it is today, but a Member of Parliament, I don't know where they are, Armidale, something like that. Roy Heferen came here in 1928. He had a block of land, about 800 acres up the road there, and he commenced grazing his stock, and then he had the vision to look around for share farmers who would grow wheat, which was a very early move in this area. And he increased the area of farming and grazing land he had up to an area of about 6,000 or 7,000 acres by 1938. So he started off with 800 acres and he got up to about 6,000 or 7,000 by 1938. In 1940, he decided to enter Parliament, and he was elected as a member for Parliament for the Barwon area, and he was elected for a period of 10 years. And during that period of time, the North Star School was opened in 1942 while he was Member of Parliament, and then after the war, as I say, share farmers arrived here, and the community then looked around to have a school, and having a Member of Parliament living in the area, they certainly had a lot of push to get a school here. And so on the 25th of April 1949, this school was opened. This building here was the original school, and there were about 29 pupils. And if you've been in that room in there, you wonder how 29 children aged from 5 to 15 fitted in there. Because originally you've got the veranda here, and this section here was also just a veranda. So they were confined in that little space inside, the 29 children. I'll just say a few things about Roy Heferen himself. He was a man with a lot of vision. As I say, he organised to have people farming for wheat, which was an unusual thing here before the war, and they continued after the war, share farming for him. In 1956, he had left Parliament and he called a meeting at North Star to set up the Premium Wheat Growers Association. He was the inaugural chairman of that association, and that association has grown today to be the people who sell all the wheat in New South Wales. Prior to that time, wheat was grown throughout the state, but the better quality wheat was grown up here. They did not receive any extra funds because they had this special wheat. But with his initiative, the Premium Wheat Growers Association was set up, and the farmers in this area then received extra money for their wheat. Another thing he achieved while he was here was all bagged wheat in those early days, and the farmers would harvest the wheat, would put in bag stacks, and then merchants purchased the wheat from you. They didn't weigh the wheat, they just assumed that a bag of wheat was such and such, and that was the average. Well, he set out in the early 1960s. He set up, I'd never heard of the word before, crowdfunding. But he went around the district and organised the farmers around the district to donate funds to build a weighbridge. And Croppa Creek had the first weighbridge here, was built by the farmers themselves, of which he organised. And I have a book at home in which he's written down the amount of money all the different farmers put in, £100, £50, whatever the things were, the amount were they had, and he collected it all and organised the building of the weighbridge and setting it out. So he was a man had vision for the area. The plaque, also I mentioned on the plaque about this building. The building was built at a place called Cobidar, which is on the way to Tamworth, but you won't see it anymore. It did exist as a village once, but it doesn't anymore. In 1920 it was built, and in 1938 it was transported from Cobidar to Upper Horton. Now if you've been to Upper Horton, way up in those hills, and the school was there till 1948, when the government was looking for a school because timber was hard to get, they couldn't get building materials. They discovered this building was up there, it wasn't being used. Sometime in 1948, they transported this building down here. Now when you think about it, that building in 2 years' time will be 100 years old. And just to give you an idea of inflation in time, it cost $400 to build that building in 1920. And I think that building over there cost $250,000 a few years ago. It's no bigger in size, but that's what inflation is. From $400 to $250,000. On the plaque, I've also mentioned Mr. Neil McGuinness. He wrote the original letters to Roy Heferen to inquire about a school being set here, and he wrote down all the names of the pupils who were available to come to the school, and of course having a Member of Parliament here, something was done. The first teacher was a Mr. David Hamilton. I can't imagine what it must have been like for him coming out here, coming into this small room, 29 children, and they ranged in age from 5 to 15. And I would guess, I didn't know the man, but I would guess that it was probably his first year's teaching, and this is where he was sent to run this school. And so I put the plaque up. I've just given you a background history of it there, so when you read it you can relate to what I've spoken about. But I just felt remiss because my wife's, Roy Heferen was my wife's father, and I just thought it was remiss that nothing was done to mention the fact of what he had done, and when the school was all set up and the history of it. It's interesting, if you go down to the Sydney Archives, a place called Kingswood, any letters that were written about the school or anything at all is all down in Sydney. They've got every letter they've ever written. I went down there a few years ago and asked, could I go through the archives, and that's where I found the information about where the building was and everything else about it. In the history book about Croppa Creek, it mentions the school came from Elsmore. Well, that's not correct. This is the actual fact, because down there in Sydney they've got all the records. And any letters anyone wrote, to complain about anything, they've got it all down there. Yeah, it's quite amazing how they kept the records. At any rate, I thank you for your attendance, and we're very happy, the family's very happy to put the plaque there for the history of the place. Thank you. Another initiative of Stephen Roy Heferen, which we are forever grateful in the district, was his presentation of a shield called it's now called the Heferen Shield for competition amongst primary school children. I often wonder how many children have been inspired from competing in this Heferen Shield in their athletics adventures in later life.